What's up, guys? And today I'm going to be exposing Vincent Fischer's $800,000 a month info funnel. Now, you've probably seen him on Instagram. He makes a lot of money. He flashes his Rolls Royce, his cars, his luxury, and his whole lifestyle. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this kid was able to go from this to a millionaire, rich, ripped, and all of that stuff. So this is for you if you're on Instagram trying to make money. You're a coach or an info business owner who wants to scale but doesn't know the exact system. You want to build a personal brand that actually makes money, not just get likes. And here's what I'm going to show you. Now, the exact funnel making $800K a month. I break down every single step from Instagram post to sales so you can copy it. The DM to high ticket system, right? How 3 words in the DMs turns into $4,000 clients, and why this works even if you're a nobody. Why flexing actually makes you money, the psychology behind why showing cars and lifestyle converts better than being humble, but how you can take a significant approach towards it so that you don't come off as a flashy guru. The 7 belief shifts that you need to make people buy, right? Specific phrases that make people want to pay you before they even talk to you, and the numbers behind it all. So how many polls, how many DMs, how many calls, what he charges, and everything. So the bottom line is you're about to see how Instagram coaches actually make millions, not the service level stuff, but the real blueprint. Now, why should you listen to me? I'm Leon. I'm the founder of Limitless Acquisition, and I've helped several people scale past over 6 figures a month. And also a lot of beginners, help them get from 0 to 22K a month, 7 to 30K a month, 0 to 12K a month, etc., etc. There's a bunch of testimonials. You can check them out. They're on my channel as well. Just last month, we hit 126K on a sales coaching offer that was doing $35,000 in June. So in just 3 months, we scaled it from 35K to 130K, basically 148K USD, by the way. So 126K euros. So let's get into it. So first of all, with Vincent Fischer, if you run an info business or a coaching business, it all starts with who are you speaking to and what do they want? Because who you're speaking to decides everything in your business, from what to sell, when to sell it, where to sell it, and how to sell it. Vincent is targeting basically the B2C market. Now you have B2C and B2B. B2C is business to consumer. It's the general population that you're selling to. B2B is business to business. So you're selling to other businesses. Vincent, he's selling to B2C. Now let's dive into the specific numbers of the system. How much input does it actually take to make 800K a month? So 800K a month, if your average order value is around 2.5K, I'm going to assume his closing rate is about 30% and his show rate is about 70%, which I think could be a lot higher due to him being such a strong personal brand. The amount of clients you need is about 320. Now, if we change the average order value, so the average amount of money a person spends with him, to a little bit higher, factoring in the buy now, pay later, we're going to get to $4,000 a month. So in the B2C market, the usual average order value is around 2 to 4K, depending on how strong your sales processes are, your back-end selling systems and everything. But let's assume 4K, he needs about 200 clients. Let's assume 2.5K, he needs about 320 clients. So that means he's getting anywhere from 200 to 300 clients every single month. And that means he needs to book anywhere from 800 calls per month to around 1,070 calls per month. And I'm going to round it off actually to, I think he's booking around 1,000 to 1,200 appointments every single month. For that, you need about 7 closers. Cost per book call is around $150 from ads, right? You need about 100,000 in monthly ad spend to hit that 800K. If you want this calculator, which makes it very easy for you to figure out how much you need to spend on ads, how many cold calls or cold DMs you need to do, or how many organic posts you need to post, just send me a simple message on Instagram. Vincent is selling to his younger self. So if you look at Vincent before, where he said like, I'm going to be a millionaire, right? What was his financial state? He was broke. His occupation was dropout. Emotional state was struggling. Behavior was he tried everything from dropshipping to trading, reselling, etc. His relationship status was single. He was living with his mom, and his mode of transport was the city bus, right? Which is a very apparent story in his content. Now, where he's at, he's rich, he's an entrepreneur, he's thriving, he's focused on one thing. He has a girlfriend, he has a penthouse, and he has a super and a hypercar. He's basically selling back to this kid, a kid who's broke, who's struggling, who doesn't know what to do, who has tried everything. He niched down by going to people who are already in the gym, who are already in shape, but they're not making money. Now, what is very important about the B2C market is that it's highly emotion driven. They want fast transformation, and what they're looking for is a method or a model. The more sophisticated your market is, which means the more they know about business and how business works, the more specific their needs become. So in the B2C market, these people have the lowest amount of money to spend, and what they're looking for is a method to start. The B2 solopreneur, which is basically a business owner who's already making money, What they want is a system. The B2B company, right, 100K to 5 million a month, they want team, right? They have money to spend, they have money to invest. Obviously, Vincent is selling to B2C. They want to know how to make 10K a month. And the sales cycle here is pretty fast. So what does the B2C market move on? It's pain and pleasure, right? And any kind of sales and marketing moves on a pain pleasure principle. People always want to get away from pain and people want to get towards pleasure. And the more you can get people from pain to pleasure, the more money you make. So this is also why I make a lot of money, is because, right, we help people get more pleasure by helping them make more money, right? So like I showed you, like all the people that we've helped hit 15K a month or 30K a month or 150K a month, they got more pleasure because we solved their problems in their business and got them more appointments, more clients, and ultimately more money. Now, very important, the B2C market, right, is more motivated by escape from pain than achieve greatness. So you want to focus your content and your sales process primarily on digging up pain, amplifying pain, and getting people motivated from pain. People are 2 times more motivated by fear of loss than potential gain. And scarcity and urgency increase conversions by 200, 300%. So it's really important that you put these in your marketing. And I'm going to show you later exactly how Vincent does that as well. To get a lot of attention in the B2C market, you need to create a lot of emotion. In the B2C market, you're not competing on price, you're competing on emotion. Whoever can create the most emotion in their prospect, that is the person who makes the most money, not the person who charged the lowest price or is the most available or the most convenient. And that is why Vincent's marketing is so heavily geared into transformation, right? I went from skinny to jacked, from being single to having a model girlfriend, from having no money to having multiple supercars, living in a penthouse. Let's dive into the funnel specifically and how he converts the people. His main funnel is obviously on Instagram, right? It's his Instagram, his TikTok, and his YouTube. Now, his YouTube is the smallest one of these components. And he started all the way back when he was doing fitness coaching on TikTok. So fitness coaching was TikTok. It's very low ticket. He was selling PDFs for $20. The more sophisticated, the more the content has to be valuable. On this scale, you have TikTok, right? TikTok. All right. Then, we have a little bit above that. We have Instagram and then we have YouTube. People on YouTube, they're looking for long form breakdowns like you, right? You're watching this and you're a more sophisticated buyer. You're more serious about this because you're actually taking steps to figure out, what do I really need to do? You're not looking at surface level content on TikTok and going, funny scroll, okay, educational, okay, funny, blah, 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 right? You're actually here like, I want to learn something, which means you're a more sophisticated buyer. But Instagram revolves fully around status and being cool, right? Who is the coolest? Who has the most followers? Who has the coolest content and all of that stuff? Another research basically broke down 63% of consumers trust influencers creators more than brand advertising, and 88% say trust is the deciding factor when choosing who to buy from. Personal brands are trusted 3 times more than corporate brands. People are not really buying how to start a coaching business. What people are really buying when they buy from Vincent is, how do I become this guy? And that creates the perceived value for somebody to pay high ticket. Whenever you sell high ticket, don't focus on, you're going to get 20 videos and I'm going to show you a strategy. It's like, that doesn't matter, right? Your main focus should be, I'll show you exactly who you're going to be, right? This is the dream. This is who you want to be. This is the lifestyle. And that's what you sell these people on. Now you have all the lifestyle content. You have him in a private jet with a Lamborghini. You have him looking ripped. And he's basically taking the major 3 markets and he's turned them into the biggest transformation he can. So health, wealth, and relationship. Now, a lot of people would say, hey, flashing luxury and stuff, it makes you look very guru-y and that doesn't work. People don't trust that. That's bullshit. That's wrong. People wearing luxury brands actually are perceived as more competent, higher status, and more likely to be hired. Luxury displays create a halo effect. People assume wealth equals competence, intelligence, and success. So it improves your conversions massively. So even though you're going to get, 50% of people being like, he's flexing luxury, what a lame guy, half of them is just going to be like, damn, how do I get that? Or they're not caught up in, do I like Vincent Fischer and do I think he's a scammer or a guru or whatever, right? A lot of people are like, even if I hate him or I like him, doesn't really matter. I want to know how I get in a private jet. I want to know how I get a Lambo. No matter if people like you or hate you or love you or think you're lame or think you're cringe, people ultimately want what you have if you have something that they don't have. From these profiles, he funnels all the attention into a VSL, right? A video sales letter. And that's basically a video that's basically meant to sell you on him and sell you on his method, right? So whenever you want to sell somebody, you have to sell somebody on three things. You have to sell them on you, right? So they have to believe that you are the person that is capable of helping them. You have to sell them on your method. So they have to believe that your method works. And you have to sell them on themselves. So they have to believe that they can do it with your help and your method. If you miss any of the three, you will not make the sale. They land on a landing page. If you click this link, it says 100% limited free training reveals how I turned my passion of fitness into a 7-figure business in 3 years at 2022. No big following, certifications, or bodybuilder physique required. In this presentation, you will learn how to launch a profitable online coaching business from scratch, how to build a personal brand and attract clients organically, and how to enroll high-ticket clients and create predictable monthly income. Now, notice here how this is all focused on outcomes. This is not saying in this presentation you will see, my 63 video modules, the full course that I have for you that if you want to invest in, you can buy. And it's not that, right? It's really like how you make money, and how you make money. That's what it's really saying, right? So always focus on outcome based. Now, then ultimately they get into the VSL. Little life hack, if you're ever on a VSL page without a play bar, you can just go here, right? In the top right, and you can click this, and now, boom, I can just skip through. Now, in another video, I can break down the whole VSL if you guys want that. So if you want to see how I break down a whole VSL and literally go sentence by sentence, like why he says what he says and what impact that has on a prospect and how that converts them, just comment below. That it gives you a pop-up type form. If you're qualified, you'll be redirected to the Calendly. If you're unqualified, you'll be redirected to a page. It used to be a sales page with like an info product where he just sold like a course or something. But nowadays, it just leads to a page 404 not found. So that's not great. Writing the VSL, how to create VSLs that convert. I have full programs on that and full videos. So if you want access to that, let me know on Instagram. Send me a DM. Type form, right? First name, last name, phone number, email, what's your age? Where are you based, right? This is important to understand how can they spend. If they're in the United States in the B2C market, you can use buy now, pay later options, which is a lot of his revenue. So the reason he makes $800K a month as well is because he gets a lot of people on buy now, pay later, which is basically the idea of like, hey, you pay $5K up front, but then you have something like Klarna, and then the prospect only has to pay like $200 a month as a payment plan, but Vincent still gets the $5K paid in full. So you only have access to this in the United States. Now, these are the main B2C questions, right? What is your current occupation and how long you've been doing it? This is to know if somebody has a job or they're just like in school or they're just doing nothing. That's the first financial qualifier. Then it's what is happening in your life right now that has you potentially considering changing your line of work. This will give you the pain of this person. This will tell you, oh, I'm struggling, I cannot afford the rent, or I'm struggling, I want to get something that can make me money on the side. This will give you the pain that you need and the problem that they want to fix. And then what is your goal with your new current business and how much would you like to earn from it per year? So this gives you the goal, right? So now you got the pain, and then it gives you the pleasure as well. So that is basically creating the gap, right? Then we have the question, how much money could you directly invest in achieving these goals if you are 100% certain that you would achieve them? This is the financial qualifier, right? So this tells you like whether I should send you to my low tier closer who's not that good, if I should send you to my mid-tier closer who closes pretty good but not, crazy, or if I should send you to my top closer or even me myself that is going to close you pretty much 100% of the time on a very high ticket program, right? So this way you're able to redirect people as well to certain endings in your Calendly and make sure that your closers calendars are optimized so that, you're not sending like extremely qualified leads to like your worst closers or if you're sending them or wasting time on a call, right? So the thing though is if you're just starting out, I would never recommend people to have a heavily financial qualifier. I would go a little bit more indirect, right? And I would say, how much money would you approximately need to make to replace your full-time income so that you can quit your job? That's also what we use with one of the other offers here. So this is an offer we book a lot of calls for. Like this is just from here's the last 4 days, all the calls that we've been booking. But you can see, right? Approximately how much money would you need to earn monthly to basically replace your full-time income? This would be your first goal, assuming that you want to leave your 9 to 5. And then what's happening currently in your life that makes you want to improve your financial situation, which gives us the pain. And then did you try to become financially free earlier without your own product team or advertising, what did work, what didn't work. And then what is your current credit score? Because this will either qualify them for buy now, pay later or not. So if then you get sent right to the calendar where you book in a call, there he asks, who did you speak with? What's your Instagram and what's your age? And then, basically getting you to opt in for the SMS notifications. It's very important that you have follow-ups, right? So this basically will send the information then to the closer, and then the closer gets on a call with the prospect and then, converts them into a client. Now, in between this process, in his Instagram, he obviously also has his bio, which is DM me mentor for online coaching mentorship. So if you DM him mentor, of course, you're going to get, in conversation with a DM setter who's going to get you on an appointment with a closer. Or if you basically opt into the first page on a VSL, right, where they ask you your phone number, you're going to get called by a phone setter, and this person is going to set you on an appointment as well with the closer, right? So you see, either people book directly from the VSL, or they get appointments set through the DM, or they get appointments set through the phone. And that is basically how you book as many appointments as possible. And then there's one more quotient in this whole system, which is email, right? So whenever people opt in with their email, obviously you start email marketing to them with active campaign, and then you make sure that they book a call, you show them client results, you have a full email marketing playbook, which we also have and that we give to all our clients to basically book all the people that didn't book from your VSL or just email market to them and make more money. And then basically that is the funnel part. Now, how does he actually get the traffic and attention, and how does he actually create content that converts, right? How does he actually create content that makes people be like, I want to buy? Because people, they create a lot of content, but they get views and likes, but they don't get buyers, they don't get clients. Whereas like people like us, we can create one simple video, not go viral, just use a little bit of ads and then convert tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So how are you able to do that? Well, there's a couple content methods that work the best when it comes to converting people. Most people think that you constantly have to educate your audience. Oh, here's 3 tips on how to make more money, or here's how to do this, or here's how to do that, which is actually not true. The main types of content that make money is, first of all, to inspire and to basically create the idea of transformation. This creates hope, desire, and an identity shift. People need to feel like, if he did it, maybe I can. This is why Vincent is constantly showing his younger self unsuccessful compared to his newer self, right? Successful. Videos like this.
Welcome to the pod, bitch.
Right? Transformation.
This is October 10th, 2020, and I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Transformational content. That creates hope, desire, identity shift. You can also see the views on that. 10 million views, 10.7 million views, 15.7 million views. This will get you a lot of top of funnel attention, but without the next part, people will not necessarily be sold on you. The only thing they'll be sold on is that you did something that worked, but they don't really now like you or love you or hate you. They don't know anything about you. So now a person's got to see what's in your mind. How do you think and how do you look at the world? So the shift beliefs is basically reframing people's limitations in their own mind so that they'll feel like, oh, actually, I am able to do it. So you want to create this feeling of, oh shit, I never saw it that way before. I never thought about it that way before. And you want to create that idea, so, oh, everything I believed before was bullshit.
Most people think that success is some miracle or some accident. Or like a lot of people think like a magical that come down with a wand and go, you're a millionaire. Bro, it's an exact game plan, bro. Like if your goal is $10,000 a month, what's more likely? Selling a $20 product and getting 500 people a month, or selling a $2,000 product and getting 5 people, right? And then you go, if I want to get 5 people, if I'm on call.
So what is he basically saying? He's saying, hey, success is not luck, which is what a lot of B2C people believe, right? They think being rich is like winning the lottery or, you know, being lucky or any kind of gamble. Whereas he's saying, hey, it's not luck, it's a game plan. And I got the results, so I know. So that gets somebody closer to believe like, okay, if he says it's a game plan, then if I follow the game plan, I must be able to get rich too. And this is not what they consciously think, but it's what gets subconsciously reinforced. So shifting beliefs happens under the surface, not on the surface. Nobody's literally going to study this reel and be like, okay, he said a game plan. Okay, nobody does that. It just subconsciously reprograms people over time.
Bro, I could go on YouTube right now and find a million videos that say like alpha male, whatever. And in my mind, I think I'm honored to be called alpha male because I've never once called myself that in my life. But I think what it is, people see like the wolf tattoo. They don't know what it means, bro. It means loyalty. You know what I mean? Like Bro, I have one woman. I've had the same exact team for 2-3 years. You know, I keep my word. Everything I told my family I did.
So people could have assumptions about him, and he's basically crushing those assumptions by saying, hey, people think this about me, but actually the reason I got this tattoo is loyalty, blah, 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 right? So he's changing your beliefs on who he is and what he stands for. And the people who resonate with that obviously will feel closer to Vincent and then ultimately will convert. Then the next form of content is to enchant, right? This is basically what you call aura nowadays. This is just showing aura, charisma, lifestyle, behind the scenes, subtle identity flexing. It's not always what you say, it's what your life signals, right? He lives how I want to live. Being near him upgrades me. And that's what people got to feel. Now we got to educate, right? Give frameworks, shortcuts, clarity, so you can save people time, energy, and pain. The only problem with educational content is, yes, it helps people, but a lot of people fail at applying things. So even if I give you full access, right, to every single step I took to become successful, people will fuck it up anyway because people don't know what to do and they fail doing how you did it. And then they'll blame you because they think your way doesn't work, even though it was them that failed at applying it in the right way. So that is why, like, coaching, for example, is so much more prominent in getting results than courses, because I'm able to tell you, like, you said, hey, Leon, I did this, but I got this result. And I'm able to tell you, like, yeah, and the reason for that is because you did this and you did it that way. And then you need to change this so you can get the result. And then you do that and you change it and you're like, oh, okay, it actually works. I'm like, yeah, it actually works, right? So that's the problem with educational content sometimes. Doesn't mean don't make it. It just means be careful. And polarizing content is, of course, also super key. This one gets the most attention, but you have to know what you're doing. If you're pissing off the wrong people and you're just trying to be controversial and got attention, I can guarantee you can really fuck up your reputation and really get the wrong people in your funnel, right? You have to clearly know this is the person I'm trying to offend and this is the person I'm trying to attract, and then create your argument so you can attract those people and push away those people. There's a good saying that goes, to become the president, you need half of the country to hate you, which is absolutely key, right? A lot of people, they're scared, like, oh, I don't want people hating me. If you don't have people hating you, you don't have people loving you. To be loved or hated means you have to have a very strong stance on something. You cannot be in the middle about things and then be loved. If I'm totally leftist, the leftists will love me. If I'm totally right wing, the right wing people will love me. If I'm in the middle, both will hate me. But you have to know who you're trying to attract. So it all comes back to your ICP. What is my ICP and what is the enemy of my ICP? The enemy of your ICP is who you piss off. The ICP is who you're attracting. So research found that 82% of B2B buyers feel at least 5 pieces of content before purchase, and 73% prefer to buy from a person, not a company. Personal brands get 561% more engagement than company pages. So here's the content types, their engagement rate, the conversion to cash, and the best use case. So educational how-to, engagement rate is medium, conversion to money is low, what did I tell you? And best use case is top of funnel. Results improve, engagement rate is low, conversion to money is high, best use case mid funnel. Personality and story, engagement rate high, conversion to money is medium, and best use case is retention and polarization. Engagement rate is very high because it's opinionated, which people love. Conversion to money is medium, and the best use case is just to go viral and get as much people as possible. So how it works is you want to get people in the top of funnel with attention, service level content, aura, lifestyle, just showing something that grabs the eye and makes people engage. Then the middle of funnel, you want to show your belief system, how you look at the world, the perspective, why what you do works. And then in the bottom of funnel is where you really sell them on your method, you and they being able to do it. And that's how you convert people into clients. Now, what is the main limitations in B2C that Vincent is targeting? Why his content is converting so well? It's not just a transformation. If he was just showing this without all the podcast clips, without all the talking head clips, I guarantee you he would not be making 800K a month. He'd probably be somewhere around 50 to 100K a month. You can even see that right now, most of his feed is dominated by him speaking rather than him showing off. And the reason for that is very simple. In B2C market, there are 7 main limitations that stop people. And this is especially for BizOp. So BizOp is any kind of make money kind of offer, right? So the 7 main limitation is money is evil and rich people are lucky, corrupt, or criminal, or a scam. Number 2 is all business models are a scam, nothing really works. Number 3 is fear of failure. Number 4 is I'm not ready yet. Number 5 is I need to learn more first, I need more information. Number 6 is it's too saturated, I'm too late. And number 7 is I don't have the time, the money, or the energy. So if your prospect has either one of those beliefs, they will never convert. So it's your absolute key important priority to reframe those beliefs and get them to believe that all these limitations are not real, don't exist, and don't apply. Because how you can see it is basically you have a person, right? And they want to be successful. So they want to get here, right? This is who they want to be. So for example, let's take you. Right now can think of your dreams, your goals, and all your aspirations. But right now you're here, right? You're watching this video. And there's a specific goal and purpose you're trying to get to. But in between that goal and you, there's a bunch of limiting beliefs in your mind that keep you from taking the right actions towards getting there. Right? So for example, you want to start a business or you want to scale, but you believe like this one is money is evil. This one is fear of failure. Let's say this one is I need to learn more first. So what we then need to do with our content in our sales conversion process is have videos, have content that take away those limiting beliefs so that you feel like, okay, wait a minute, I can do this. And then if we take away all those limiting beliefs, right? Basically, now the path is illuminated for you. You believe you can do it. You believe you can get there. And now you're like, okay, Leon, I get it. I'll buy. And then you become a client because you understand Leon can get me there. And I no longer believe all the bullshit I used to believe about why I can't get there. Then I help you, right? I help you implement the right steps and do the right things. And because you no longer have these limiting beliefs, you take the right actions and boom, you get to your desired destination. Now, in the process of you taking the actions, obviously you're going to face new problems, new limiting beliefs come up. And that's also why you have somebody lead you on the path, because every time a new thing pops up, that person is there to then go, hey, boom, reframe, and you go like, oh yeah, I get it. Okay. And then you keep moving. And then another problem pops up and you're like, well, Leon, what about this? And I tried this. And you're like, and I'm like, actually look at it like this happened. This is what get the result. And you're like, oh yeah, okay. And then boom, that's basically how you move along the path. So when you take limitations away from people, when you give people their power back, you take away fear from them, then people can see the path. Now, 2 main components, stories. In your info business or coaching business, there's 2 main priorities of the story. It's to create FOMO and to create urgency. So this is where you're going to reinforce client results, show social proof, show your day-to-day operations, show how hard you're working, and then especially create FOMO and urgency so people feel like I need to join, right? And that's what he's constantly doing, right? Hey, Josh here just went from 0 to 12K. Kevin here just clapped another 5K deal. When is it your time? When is it that you are going to get off your ass and start making some money? So I have a program where I teach you exactly how to go from broke fitness influencer to making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month with your coaching business. DM me mentor and I'll show you exactly how. Boom, right? That's how you get them. And then of course your story highlights is going to be client results, right? So Vincent Fischer, like here's wins, right? Even on my profile as well, right? Clients, 6 days after onboarding, Benjamin signed their first coaching client, 7.5K, 24K cash for Luke, 8K cash upfront for Luke, 25K for Selena, payment, 9K payment. Lonzy just collected another 10K cash using our simple paid in full sales system, new client sign, right? So it's just client results. So that when people land on your profile, they immediately know this guy is serious. He really does something. He gets people results. Social proof, FOMO, is basically action farming. Content marketing costs 62% less and generates 3 times as many leads. So that's why the new meta, right, as well, is like retargeting ads, right? You farm people with content, virality, aura, transformation, and belief shifting, and then you retarget those people with ads to then do them a direct offer, and you target them with your stories to sell them. 70% of buying decisions are made subconsciously, right? Emotional, not logical. And then McKinsey said consumers don't follow a linear path. They loop through awareness, consideration, and decision multiple times. Paid ads. So Vincent runs a lot of paid ads, and I can show you one right now. There's a 3-step process. I used to make $10,000 in my first month as an online coach. DM me mentor, and I'll show you how and break it down.
Boys, literally 4 years ago, I didn't know how I was going to pay for food, supplements, bills, the bulk. Now the hardest part of my day is deciding which one of my cars out of my $4.5 million collection to drive. It's crazy how fast life can turn around. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't into the cars, the flashy stuff. Some of you guys is about taking care of family, right? I was also able to retire my mother, my girlfriend, my girl drives this pink Urus back here, all from one industry called online coaching.
And you always want to have the angle, if you're in a B2C market, of how are you the good guy, because people don't like to buy from a guy that's all about me, me, me. I get money, I get luxury, right? They want to see like, how are you giving back? Because that makes people able to rationalize their own buying decisions, because people inherently feel judged if they buy from a person who's very materialistic, right? So then he compensates by saying, I retired my mom. So the main angle is like, here's how I retired my mom, my girlfriend. Here's how I take care of my family. Iman Geji had the like, here's me building schools in Nepal, right? All ways that you can show I'm giving back to the broke or the poor or helping others. That will make people more likely to buy from you as well. So whether that's really in your heart and you truly mean that, or you just do it for marketing, the end result is the same, right? People are being helped, and that makes people able to justify. Then we have basically retargeting ads, testimonial ads, and story ads. These are the ones that Vincent right now is not running, right? So he could probably use that as well. But retargeting ads is basically proven to have 10 times more click-through rate than regular display ads. And that is the meta right now in info and coaching, is making great content that farms attention, shows your transformation, shift people's beliefs, then have social proof and client testimonials in your story highlights, and then lead people to your profile, and then just retarget them with ads with a direct offer, create FOMO and urgency through your stories to make them feel like I really need to do this. So if you want all the frameworks and the systems on how to do this and how to, the like step-by-step SOPs of how to create the VSL, how to set up the funnel, how to set up your highlights, what to write, how to copyright everything, how to create those belief shifting reels, how to create the sales script, everything that you need from start to finish, or you want to work with me closely and actually have a done for you solution, then obviously message me on Instagram, right? Or just go to the description where there will be a link for you to book in a call. And then we can literally do all of these things for you or help you set all of these things up depending on your situation. So main takeaways from Vincent, right? Have systems in every place. Make sure that you optimize all the parts of your funnel to convert people and know what you're doing, right? Don't have a random approach of, I'm just gonna post content and hope somebody buys. That is not a sustainable strategy, right? You need a real system. You really need to know what you're doing. You need to write good copy. You're competing with people like this, right? Doesn't mean that if you are a small creator, people won't buy from you, right? I made hundreds of thousands of dollars and I don't have anywhere above 10K followers on Instagram. It just means that you need to know how to sell, how to market, and how to convert people. And if you know that and you have a valuable service that actually gets people results, then you will not have a hard time, and making money online is extremely easy. And it's literally what we did with all of our clients, right? Made it extremely easy for them to make money by delivering a valuable service that they can be proud of, happy with, and know how to attract high ticket, high quality clients that retain and that, bring in money consistently, and that you're able to achieve all the things you want to achieve, right? Rich, entrepreneur, committed. Maybe you want a girlfriend, maybe you want a partner, maybe you want a penthouse, maybe you want a supercar, whatever it is. All of it is possible when you build an extremely well sophisticated funnel, you know what you're doing, and you have extremely good client acquisition models and systems in place to acquire more clients. So with that being said, you know what to do, and I see you on the next video.